I'm going to be speaking to Mr. X. I'm going to be taking 2 questions from YouTube, as long as there are 2 questions from YouTube, and then 1 question from Discord. YouTube people pay, so they get a little bit more. I can't pick all the questions, guys. I'm going to try to do my best to go through them, and I might skip around. We'll see. He told me I can ask him anything. I can ask him questions as well. All right, guys, I think we are pretty much ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and message him and tell him we're ready to go here. The first thing that Mr. X said to me, well, he wanted to tell everybody good evening or good day, depending on where you are, and that it is great to join everybody. That is the first thing that he wanted to say. So, I'm not a financial advisor. How high is Caspa going? I don't think he's going to answer that one, guys. He's not going to give you price predictions, guys, just so you know. He might talk about the price of Bitcoin, but that'll be about it. It's a great question from Ray from the gym. Can you offer insight or info onto what led Senator Chuck Schumer to vote to overturn SAB 121? I think that's a pretty good question. I think he might have some insight into that potentially. I know Ray from the gym. He's a cool guy. He was on the show before and stuff. So he also did a super chat. So we appreciate that. Okay. All right. He's got a very simple answer for you, Ray. He's simply a politician. Each does as told. That is the answer. All the politicians, they're only doing exactly what they're told. And to think that Chuck Schumer, there's another reason. The question would be who told him that. And, he's still typing here, so he might be adding some additional insight into this. The rest of the answer is a few, though, have to be told more than once, but on rare occasions. But on rare occasions, more than once, basically. Oh, okay. Here's a question. And this, I'll be really interested to see how he answers this one. This is the second question, and it is John, the other feller, a creator of BTC? That's or not John necessarily, but it is a one of those fellers from The Rock. Are they a creator of BTC? I already know the answer to this question, but I just wanted to hear. Hey, okay, there you go. Answer? No, I think that's sufficient. I think that is sufficient. I think that is a good enough answer. They are not creators. I think that's a good one. This is from Discord. Is Avi Loeb someone we should be listening to when it comes to the ideas of quantum mechanics and computing? I'm going to post that question over here on YouTube. This is going pretty well. I think we got a good flow here. This is good. I had no idea how we were actually going to do this because it's one of these things you can't really practice until you're actually live on all the spots. But this is going pretty well so far. So he's answering right now. And then over here on YouTube, I think we'll go with the super chat one next. How influential is the Aspen Institute in world affairs? I don't even know what the Aspen Institute is. He may have mentioned it to me. I'm not sure. So, and guys, you guys also have to remember, we're doing these AMAs, and it's really cool that we're getting Mr. X direct, right? But we have access to him all the time. I talk to him every single day. I can't remember. I don't think there's been a day, maybe one day since December of last year that we haven't spoken. So, I think we can always hit these questions. I'm trying to ask some that I know we haven't asked before, and you guys are asking some good questions, for sure. So. What's his opinion about Bitcoin? We talked about it last night. It's a thing. It's a thing that I'll tell you, it's a thing that was started when we weren't speaking, and he didn't have anything to do at the beginning of it. And now it's kind of its own thing, and it's taken on its own life. And we'll just kind of have to see where it goes from here. I think there's a lot of things up in the air with everything just happened. But okay, here we go. Here is the answer. All right, and this is from this was from Mamba Tweets on Discord. That's the question and the answer. Now I will let you guys know, just so you know, Mr. X does make typos, so don't judge him for his typos sometimes. You know what he's saying, so I'm just going to post it as is. He says, here's the answer for YouTube. Avi's training is in cosmology and astrophysics. You are becoming quite familiar with those you should be listening to. I'm connected to tons of these people on LinkedIn. A lot of the top AI, the guy who's trying to build a time machine, I'm connected to him on LinkedIn, and then a lot of other high-level quantum computing guys. Your audience really does need to listen to your comments on this subject going forward. Doing so will negate the need to ask which voices to listen to. So if we're telling you who you should be listening to, that's who you should be listening to. And until someone moves into that, they're not there yet. Eric Weinstein is someone that you can listen to. He doesn't know everything. There's a lot of stuff he doesn't know. Actually, more stuff he probably doesn't know than he does. But Eric Weinstein's close. He knows a lot about this stuff. He is right around with everybody. So, okay. All right. So here we go. Let's ask this one. We're going to ask this one to Mr. X. This is a super chat here. The question is, why Ben, and are you speaking to other influencers? Here we go. Why Ben, and are you speaking to other influencers? That's the next question. That's kind of cool, isn't it, guys? I tell you, this is so cool. I love this. I love you guys are getting a piece of this. And people think this guy isn't real. What is he, my ChatGPT? Come on, ChatGPT over here. I've been doing ChatGPT since, I guess, May of 2021, I guess. That's a good question there. Is quantum computing something everyone individually should try and get their hands on, or will it stay in the hands of the higher ups? I will probably what I should do is I should kind of give you guys some insights on some questions I can give you insights into, or some of the answers. I can tell you with quantum computing, there is a component of quantum computing that's going to be coming out, but much sooner than people think. It's going to be crazy how it integrates into things. I don't know if it's years away. It's probably a few years away, I think. But it's going to be coming much faster than people think. But guys, quantum computing is so much further than they're telling you. It's all lies. It's so much further. You guys have no idea the stuff I've uncovered as well. Mr. X says, the Ben question is a good one and multifaceted. So it will take a few minutes to answer. So his answer saying yes, listen to Avi or no. He said he's a person that is involved in. This is what he's saying, Cameron. This is what he's saying. If that is someone you need to listen to, we will talk about him and you will know that. At this point, we have not. So there must not be anything that he's offering right now that Mr. X feels like we should be communicating to you, or he would be telling me that, right? Trust me. Mr. X is plugged into the quantum computing space like you would not believe, okay? He has connected me directly to so many of these people. I've got Bob Cook as a guy with Quantinium, and he's already told me he will come do an interview with us. It's just a matter of time. He's a very busy guy, obviously. And the quantum computing world's exploding right now. So I hope that answers your question there. Okay. Oh, that's a great question. If I ran a redneck, what can the average person do to support Mr. X in his efforts to replace the Boat Children family? Well, guys, it's already kind of been done, but certainly to support what he and I and the senior and the chairman and Cassie, of course, as well. What we're all doing, trying to offer a better alternative to people. That is basically it. And the best thing you can do is learn. Just learn. I'm still in the learning stage. I'm just educating myself. I'm just learning. I'm just getting all these topics. I'm taking a course on relativity. Like, I'm just trying to learn as much as I can about everything, because we're coming to a place where everything's going to be one. Everything's going to be one. And that's hard to understand right now. Everything's going to be one. There's going to be the big apps are going to be one thing. You're not going to go anywhere else. You're going to do everything on one of these apps, and it's going to tie into quantum computing, AI, payment, everything. It's going to be amazing. Okay. So he's still typing. Yeah, I want to ask him about the weather. I want to ask him about the weather. I do. So hopefully we can get to that question at some point. I'm very curious what he would say about that. But yeah, what you can do to support Mr. X is educate yourself. You just educate. I'm working on this really cool thing, the BitBoy Bootcamp, and we're going to be giving you the education you need in the areas you need the education you need the education in order to go out, change your lives, change other people's lives. We're going to create a crypto army. We are going to create a crypto army. Crypto army is really a bad word for it. It's not a crypto army. We're creating a BitBoy army, because this is not just crypto anymore, guys. We've moved on to other things. We're not just crypto. Crypto is a basis. It's what we love. It's what we're passionate about. But it's just a part of the overall thing that we're doing here now. So it's about the quantum entanglement and how computing can do multiple states at one time. What the future? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is the future, but that's not actually, I'm actually not like, it wasn't some kind of giant spiritual statement or metaphysical statement I was making. I was just saying that I do believe Mr. X is above Elon, guys. I promise you, Mr. X is above Elon, but he does know him for sure. Very sure. He shared a story with me last night about him, which was pretty cool. So yeah, so Elon wants X to be the do-all app for banking. No, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's bigger than that. It's not X. It's not XAI. It's not X payments. It's something bigger. And there's going to be, this one's going to be amazing. And then there's some other stuff. I got to be real careful what I say on this. I can't say too much. Okay. But yeah, does events around the world feel biblical? Because, man, it feels like we're in Revelation. I tell you, it feels very strange these days, for sure. He's still typing away. I guess this is going to be a great answer, I hope, guys. I think he's probably going to say he chose me probably because of the way that back in the early days I used to look like a walrus. I don't really look like a walrus anymore, it's sad. He just answered. Here we go. Okay. All right, guys, here we go. Now we've got Discord hooked up here. So I can post the answer and people on YouTube can read it actually. Okay. Ben and Cassie is 100% trusted by me. And I can state the same for Senior and the chairman as we are closely connected. I will add that this does not come easily, and that is an understatement. Ben and Cassie has the mental capacity to absorb the information being provided to him and the ability to communicate same to his audience. Number 3, Ben also has a unique capability to relay information to his audience in a relatable manner, superior to our own capability. And why the crypto community? Well, this community is advanced in understanding the important information. Given the fact that you are already ahead of the game and at minimum have a good understanding of finance in the crypto space. And Ben, with a little help, will continue to educate you in both spaces. Why? Well, the ones who follow along will have a much better chance of being in the have rather than the have-nots. And believe me, that will be important. Will Ben ever get replaced in this regard? No. Simply don't care that much if the effort continues, but it would be nice if it did. And guys, we are doing it. So great answer there. Now, just so you guys know, I did go ahead and ask the next question. There it is. I'm going to ask this one question from Junior 748 about Hurricane Helene. But I think, wasn't there another weather question? Were there 2 weather questions? The track for Milton was very unusual. We'll see. Now look, guys, certainly the weather, there's stuff going on with the weather. I mean, I'm not going to call it climate change or anything like that, but I don't know what to call it. We'll see. He's typing away. He has another answer, more answer to why Ben question. I should add that both Ben and Cassie are intellectually curious and possess the intellectual capacity to understand the information provided to them. In most cases, the information is presented to them in question form, which they are required to consider, dig into, research, and form conclusions. I mean, guys, I'm taking a theory of relativity class right now. Like, this is where this led me to. In most cases, which they are required to consider, dig into, research, and form conclusions, and then be able of communicating to an audience. No easy task. I guess why you may have heard Ben and Cassie mention a Riddler or something of that nature. Man, I tell you, these people are always asking questions. While we are speaking about organizations, also Jake wanted to know about Bohemian Grove and the worship of Moloch and the cremation of care. I don't even know what that is. Of care. The cremation of care. I have no idea what that is. Next question. Oh, you know what I knocked over, guys? My nose trimmer. You guys love it when we trim the nose. Nobody can do it like the big boy. I'll do it. To an owl figure? To an owl figure? Man, I tell you what. I love Alex Jones. I want y'all to know this. I love Alex Jones. You're not going to ever hear me say anything bad about that man. He treated me really nice when I met him. He definitely went too far with the Sandy Hook thing. He went too far with a lot of stuff a lot of times. But so have I. Okay, maybe not that far. But I've gone too far with stuff before too. Okay, and so I'm not going to sit here and judge him for that. He's always treated me nice. He was always a good person to me. And I know that there are a lot of people out there that, do not like any association with him. And I'm always proud of who my friends are and who I like. Okay, and I wish Alex the best with everything that's going on. I will say, though, that there's just so much stuff that he's been so wildly wrong about that, that's why somebody like Alex Jones isn't someone that Mr. X talks to. Mr. Alex Jones loves to live in the the curiosity of what may be happening. Whereas Mr. X is more enlightening on what actually is happening. There's quite a difference. And it's no fault of Alex's. I mean, my gosh, I just happen to be the luckiest person in the world, basically, that happens to have this contact that can know this stuff. It's pretty crazy. So, well, Mr. X, will there be a seizure freeze of crypto assets in the U.S.? I don't think that's going to happen. Guys. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that? We're heading towards complete tokenization. So that's actually a question, JC. I think that I don't even think you would need to answer that one. I think I can just tell you right now, that's not something we're going to see. And now, look, who knows? 20 years from now, I don't think BRICS going to take us over or anything. But look, you guys need to understand a lot of the stuff that we are doing here, in the United States. It's going to come back on us, right? It's going to come back on us. But I mean, we're not heading towards apocalypse, okay? But the way that our country responds to the transition of losing power, that right there is going to tell the tape. That's going to be the tail of the tape on what happens to this country. If we start going and getting involved in more stuff we shouldn't get involved in, and we get spread too thin, then who knows? I mean, there are these people ain't playing games. Just so y'all know, they ain't playing games. Well, look. I think B. Baker. Look, I certainly understand that, but I think everyone agrees he went too far there. Okay, he did go too far there. I'm not saying that he didn't say, he was pointing out here's the thing. He just should have read the room a little better. Like, that's it. I'm not saying what he did or said was that horrible. Like, yes, if you're a parent of someone who died there, there's a terrible thing. I understand it. You don't want to hear this. I get it. Okay. But what I'm saying is, this is the internet. Okay. This is the internet. If you're going to come onto the internet and you're going to look for things on the internet that have to do with you or something you've been through, then you need to be prepared to see the worst thing that exists, because you're going to see it. It's going to happen. That is the internet. Okay. So if it wasn't Alex Jones saying that these people were crisis actors, or this person is in this other video, so it didn't have whatever he said, right? It could have been anybody, but it was him. It was what they used. Okay. If it wasn't him, there were tons of people that were saying stuff like that. I've seen tons of people say that. But Alex is the figurehead, and he should have read the room a little bit, and he should have backed off harshly and apologized near the beginning of this, and he could have prevented all this. But there's no way he could have foretold what that was going to bring, and his whole thing was not doing things like that, was standing by what he said. So it's just a really tough position for him, and I do hate it for him. They financially canceled him. It sucks. He's still answering this one. I packaged the two questions together, as you guys can see there. Ben, the reason I ask about the seizure of assets is because it's been done before. As precedent gold was seized, and law-abiding citizens were forced to suck it through the Depression, even though they prepared. Absolutely, JC. I am not. I absolutely understand your question, and I absolutely understand your point. It has happened before. You are correct. The gold confiscation, it has happened before. It's more advantageous financially for the GDP of the United States for them to allow crypto to flourish right now, because that's what BRICS is forcing the United States' hand here. The United States doesn't have a choice. What BRICS? What are we going to become, China? Like, we're just going to switch. Like, we're going to go communist. They're going to take our gold, and BRICS is going to be the beacon of freedom and stuff. I just think it's all going to be a lot of gray areas probably. But, yeah. JC, you're always. I know you know your shit or your stuff. Okay. All right. So here is the answer. I'm going to post it in Discord here. The Aspen Institute in its own right is as significant as the many other facilitation vehicles which are used to disseminate chosen and useful narratives. So that means you can take the Aspen Institute, you can put it kind of on level with the like the Trilateral or the Bilderberg or I cannot remember what the one is, the one that we were looking at that was the forum, the Atlantic Council, right? All of these things, they all fit into that. As far as the many secretive groups that have emerged, I explained some time ago that the advent of these have come from folks who have served as facilitators at some point and in some degree, and have established their own little secret societies to seemingly be relevant. In the major scheme of things, they are not. Others that were created like Bilderberg, Trilateral, the Council serve a purpose, and have all become somewhat less secretive. The other groups, not relevant to anything, and yes, I am aware that some in fact have unusual and sometimes sick garbage associated with them, all for the purpose of creating more mystery and in some rare cases to fill their sick purposes. Wow, that's a great answer. That's a great answer. That actually, man, that's something that actually like answers some questions I've had. So, man, great answer on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and get in the next question here. I wanted to ask about the weather, so let's come over here and get to this one. This is going to be from Junior 748. Here we go. I know y'all are gonna love this answer. This is gonna be a good one. Okay, and of course, if there is anything weird about the weather, would be cool to know. He answered that by saying it makes you do the research through the riddle. Yeah. Mr. X, why do you teach the question? Exactly. It's because it teaches. Because if somebody really wants to know something, you have to find out if they're curious. Right? That's what he's really saying here. Is, I mean, Cassie, you're curious. And that if you say something that piques my interest and you don't give me what I want, I'm going to go find the answer because it's going to drive me crazy not to know it. And then in the process, because of the way my brain works, to really grasp something, I have to grasp it simply. I cannot understand complex things. I can understand tons of simple things woven into something complex, but I got to be able to break it down simply. So, that's how we're doing it. So people are going to hate this answer. Man, they're going to hate this. They're going to hate this answer. Man, they're going to hate it. But I already knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, guys. I can't remember where I was going, but there it is. There's your answer, boys. No on the hurricane. The mining in that region has been long-standing and permits for the mining already in existence. The weather activity that is occurring has been occurring for millions of years. That's simple, and no one is messing with the weather. That's kind of what I thought he was going to say. So, guys, everything's not a conspiracy. Everything's not a conspiracy. And man, do you guys know how much they love? Do you know how much they love when you guys go deep into this stuff like the hurricane is caused by, because you're not looking at what's real. You're looking at the conspiracy that's, oh my gosh, it's so scary that they would do this. And meanwhile, they're doing stuff 10 times worse right in front of you the whole time. That's the whole thing. Okay, I want to ask about Nalvany. Mexi asked this question. I am going to just steal this question real quick from her because I think this is a really interesting one. He may have very interesting. I doubt he's going to actually say who it is. I'm sure he knows. That's the thing, guys. I mean, we're never going to get like answers like, such and such definitely killed this guy. But we can figure out what happened basically. Are Proppy and GFI backed by BlackRock? I've had a few people ask about some coins. Also wanted to know if you had any thoughts on Proppy, GFI, or I think there was one other one that somebody asked about in a super chat. Oh, okay. So here's Mr. X's answer on the Nalvany question. And once again, it's not going to be an answer that's going to absolutely tell you who it is. But it says, all I will say is don't believe everything you read. Actually believe very little of what you read. And I think that is in reference to that question about Nalvany. So we'll see. I will tell you, I know he knows a lot about what happens in a lot of the BRICS nations. And I will tell you that, he does know things for sure. But obviously we can't just come out and say certain things. So the next question, by the way, now he may be expanding. I'm going to say, also feel free to expand more on the previous question. The question that I said, hey guys, I don't know if altcoins are ever going to decouple from Bitcoin. Actually, I see that question, Yosemite. That's something I was actually thinking about today, to be honest with you. That's the question I asked. Also, wanted to know if you had any thoughts on Proppy, GFI, or any altcoins. If you want to list your top 20 coins or something, not sure if you'll do that. But if there are any you feel like people should pay attention to, what are they? There you go. So that's the question. It's 8:12. We're doing pretty good now. And we're kind of moving through the questions now. Obviously, it'd be great if it was ChatGPT and we could answer the question, just get it immediately. But it takes time to form, these kinds of. I mean, these are complicated questions. Some of these, and he's always got a great answer too. Always got a great answer. I'm hoping Skid is on his list. I can tell you that one is not on his list, and I know because he would have told me about it already. So I already know what his list is. I know the ones that are kind of floating around, like he's kind of mentioned a little bit, that aren't. Look, the only ones that he's given me for sure. I mean, look, I say Ondo and Pith. I mean, XRP is always an automatic, and Bitcoin, but we just know the limit Bitcoin's going to. XRP definitely. Ondo and Pith, I think definitely. I think BNB is the one he might as well. But then you kind of have another. You have a list of some that he has some contacts that there may be some things about these coins that are really good, like Filecoin potentially. I think it's maybe Zeus Finance or Zeus. I can't remember exactly what it was. One of those he mentioned. He had mentioned Proppy one time to me. He did mention Proppy to me one time. So, and obviously, Sweet, I think so. My guy Trent. Oh no, Trent's coming in. Trent's coming in with the heater. The heater. We're gonna have to ask this one. Does Cardano and Charles Hoskinson still have an important place in the crypto landscape? I can't wait to ask that one. Oh, he's gonna go. That's gonna be a good one. And you guys are gonna see like what are the what are the issues with some of these people that he has? Why, guys? Everything he's told us, he has trained me in these institutions. He's trained me. That's why I know what's gonna happen to ADA. I see it. The institutions are out. You're done. That's it. But we'll let you say what he thinks about that. It is a good question, man. Okay, here we go. This is a very interesting answer. I haven't read it. I've just read a second of it here. On the question of altcoins, Ben, I'm sure, will tell you that for as long as he has known me, I do not ever suggest that he purchase any coin. Having said that, and he has informed his audience, I have suggested to keep an eye on a few. As far as top 20, I recommend everyone to consider his upcoming portfolio suggestions. As I am aware that he's working hard on it. That's his thing and not something I will ever engage in. Will I continue to suggest to Ben that he keep an eye on a particular project? Absolutely, when appropriate. I would suggest that he already knows of some things to come, likely just not enough details yet. There you go, guys. That's the answer. This is the beauty of all this, and it's taken me a long time to really absorb all this. The beauty of all this is that we have access to him. Like we've got it. So you have access to him through me. Through me, you have access. So when I'm talking about coins, the ones I just named, Polygon. He also said Polygon's going to make money. He said Polygon's going to make money. So there you go. Polygon, I've been kind of out on layer twos. He said the big boys have money in it. They're going to make money. So there you go. So you guys listen to me on that stuff, and we'll go from there. Let me get the next question here. I'm going to ask Trent's question. It's a good question. Does Cardano and Charles Hoskinson have a future in the crypto land? An important place, I think is what he meant to say. All right. Guys, this is so fun. I love you guys so much. I could sit here and talk to you all night. But I may have something to do in a little bit. Good about that. So we'll see what he says. This is going to be a great one. So why does this question say what's a relation between Ben and Satoshi Nakamoto? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't have a connection to Satoshi Nakamoto, guys. I don't think so. I don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is, but I know Mr. X does. Oh my gosh. Y'all are going to love this answer. He's still typing. He's going to give me some more. No, JC, not right now. Look, guys, he's going to get his just due. All right, look, guys, it's very clear now. He's going to be getting his just due. It's not going to be too long, guys. So we're gonna let him sink his own ship. We're not too worried about him anymore. We know where things are going. So, okay. Look, I once again, you guys already know what he thinks about Cardano and Charles. But is it safe to say that XDC, Quant, XLM, Algo, and HBAR will also fly with XRP? No, we do not like XLM's gone. Mr. X has said out on XLM. He doesn't always tell us coins to go into necessarily, but he tells. I asked him about Cadena, and I asked him about XLM out, and you can see how XLM is dropping like a rock, guys. It's in like the 40s or something. It's nuts. It was a top 5. It was like number 4 at some point back in the day. It's shot way down. So I can tell you that. So, well, I think I will say this to people. Look, there's that famous clip of Dan Pena saying, I think he's trying to imply it's Putin, I think, or I don't know who he's trying to imply, but he's saying, if you know who started Bitcoin, we'll go to zero tomorrow. And it's like, well, I think that may be true. I don't think it's who he's implying it is. But I think that the entire feel-good story of Satoshi, guys, it serves best as folklore. It serves great as folklore. And we will keep the folklore, and we'll talk about it like it's folklore, but we know the truth now, but it's folklore. I want you to think about this, guys. Bitcoin created, now Bitcoin's an inanimate, digital currency, can't create anything, I understand. But the creation of Bitcoin, I want you to think about this, okay? When we say, who doesn't need $70 billion? Say, who doesn't need $70 billion? Who's willing to let that many Bitcoin just sit there forever, right? You're looking at it wrong. Who is smart enough to sacrifice $70 billion, which will be worth more down the road, in order to create a $10 trillion industry? And by the way, which it will be at some point very soon, next, 5-10 years, whatever. And then also create the ability to tokenize everything in the world and put it on the blockchain, which, by the way, that will also be $18 trillion minimum by 2030. Okay? Think about all the wealth that was created by the creation of Bitcoin. It's insane. And when you think about it, people say, oh, Bitcoin's been hijacked. Well, it sure seems like it, doesn't it? Where's the privacy of Bitcoin, right? Where's the anonymity of Bitcoin? Where's everybody using it as currency, electronic currency? Where's P2P transactions, right? None of that stuff is going on, guys. That's what it was supposed to be. What is it? It was hijacked. Okay, so about aliens. Somehow I knew this was coming. It's absurd given the vastness of the universe as we know it to consider that Earthlings are the only form existing. Having said that, the question arises as to whether the aerial viewings currently being discussed is to whether they are alien craft. The current and fairly recent viewings are solely of man-made craft. I did not, however, say when they may have been made. And you guys are going to see the stuff I've been talking about is not crazy. The time travel stuff, the quantum computing, it's not crazy. It's not crazy. Okay, guys? Okay. All right. Okay, great answer. Okay, let's go to what is your opinion about XRP going forward? I know you think that XRP, that the appeal doesn't matter, and of course I agree. But what is the overall forecast for Ripple and XRP during this bull run? Guys, this is not bearable guys. It's somebody who will actually tell you the truth. I'm not saying that guy's a liar. I'm just saying, there's XRP riddlers out there. This will probably take him a while to answer. So is this question only about crypto? No, you can ask anything you want, friend. No, this is not only questions about crypto. We were talking about aliens a second ago, guys. Okay. All right. Here's the answer. For anyone curious about Ripple XRP, I would suggest that they have not been paying attention to the news. It is not what Ripple XRP will be doing. It is what they both currently are and have been doing. With respect to timing on anything, period, I don't ever go there. Yeah, so, okay. Well, there you go. That was my question, of course. So that's what's happening. Guys, just pay attention to what's happening in the news with XRP and Ripple. That's all you have to do. And I will say I have a really big video I'm doing for you guys. I'm going to record it on Monday. I'm going to take the weekend to finish it up on XRP and the appeal and why it doesn't matter and what Mr. X says about it. So, okay, let's get another question here from audience. I want to ask this one as a follow-up. Okay, I can tell you with this question on Discord who are the top people to listen to, those who know what's going on, podcast guest or host, me. He's going to say me. I'm telling you, he's going to say me, and he's going to say any of the people that we're talking about and we're saying to listen to. Okay? Joe Rogan he hasn't ever said Joe Rogan, but like Joe Rogan's a person I talk about a lot, and he sends me a lot of Joe Rogan videos, actually. He does. He sends me a lot of Joe Rogan interviews with different people like Eric Weinstein and stuff like that. So Eric Weinstein is someone you can pay attention to for sure. Michio Kaku, you can pay attention to him a little bit for sure. He's somebody that knows a little bit about what he's talking about. Some of the guys are dead, the great ones, Jim Simons, for instance. So yeah, I just know that's what he's going to tell you. Just watch my videos and watch the clips I use. And that's it. That's who you look to. And we'll expand that and it'll grow as he sends me more people. I think Russell Brand is somebody you can listen to pretty well. Tucker, obviously, he likes Tucker pretty good. I think I want to ask about Ryan Salame. That is what I want to ask him about. I wanted to also ask about Ryan Salame. Tucker interviewed him, and this narrative is rising that he is a victim because he donated to Republicans. What's the real story? Another good question. He says, this is the answer to that one. Anyone following Ripple XRP activities will know that they have forged many partnerships with financial institutions across the globe, many of which are outside the U.S. As far as your BRICS question, you will have to wait for any announcement in that regard. So, do you guys see that? Do you see the comment? Do you see the comment? As far as your BRICS plus question, you have the plus there. You will have to wait for any announcement in that regard. Are you guys seeing? You reading through the tea leaves here? You reading the signs here? Okay. Okay, I like random redneck's question. Okay, let's talk time travel. I can't help but think if we have no influence over a timeline, then what benefit does it bring? But if we can, this one's going to be too complicated for him right now. How real is time travel, guys? I think it's very real. This is what he just told you. He just told you the stuff we're seeing is man-made aircraft. He just does not say when. These are advanced technologies coming to us from the future. We already know scientists have already played with sending particles back in time. We have not sent a person yet that I know of, but it probably happens in the future, so it's probably going on now. But I think time travel is really real. It's going to happen. I tell you the thing I've been thinking about really with, if time's a loop, right? Because it is, right? That's the only way you can go back in time is just a loop. I believe I'm correct on that. Well, that's actually not true. He said there's multiple things going on. There may be different ways to do it, actually. But if it's a loop, does that mean if you don't get off the loop, like you just repeat the same timeline over and over again, or is it a larger dynamic? Are we repeating? Have we done all this before? Is this a loop? We do it over and over and over again? I don't know. It's interesting. But this is his answer to that. I don't pay attention to, care about any political narrative whatsoever. Every narrative is contrived as such for political purpose. Don't care. None of it matters. Simply narratives they want folks talking about, dependent upon which side someone had chosen. I think we're going to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody for the question. We're going to gather all these questions, and we are going to create a document. We're going to send them all to him, and we'll see what him or his people have time to answer over time. And I want us to be able to do this. And I want it to be special when we do it. This is going to be a really special thing we're going to do. I can imagine there's going to be who knows how many viewers we'll have on some of these down the road. It'll be wild. I know it's going to be crazy. So we're going to do it again sometime, hopefully, if he can do it again sometime in the future. And it'll be really fun, really exciting, and awesome. Okay, so here's his answer, guys. This is the last thing he says. Just extend my gratitude to you and Cassie and all who facilitate and participate in your AMA. Please do it, and I will gladly participate again if you and your audience choose to do so. Your audience was respectful and by the nature of the questions informed, as I anticipated that they would be. So there you go. That's all we got. Be blessed. Good boy out.